Oh my God. I, I was talking and this thing was not even recording. So anyways, it's not what y'all think. I might save this video for a rainy day. And I've had like a million comments. Plus y'all be wanting some kind of story time. So here we go. Okay, I've had a million comments. It's not alcohol. It ain't prescription medication. I need a pacemaker, people. Okay? When you need a pacemaker, this is what you get. Now, I went to the doctor over this several times in the course of some years. They kept brushing it off, but I knew like something was wrong, something wasn't right, you know. And I had open heart surgery like 40 years ago. But when I went to the doctor, they was like, oh, you have asthma, you're overweight, so just exercise, and while you run, puff on that inhaler. You be good. I'm like, okay. So that's pretty much what I got out of the doctor's appointments I was going to. It's the same thing with the gallbladder. I was dealing with gallbladder issues for years. I went to the regular doctor. They brushed it off as like, what's that called? Like, they said it may be, they said the lump I have in my C-section scar is probably, scar tissue, so there shouldn't be any pain with that. So it's probably like some kind of digestive issue. So just like watch what I eat and stuff like that. And I went to the ER like in the middle of a couple of different gallbladder attacks, and they never gave me no medication, nothing. They just said, oh, ovarian cyst, oh this, oh that, lay off the caffeine, send me home. Like general medical advice I could give myself, right? So I've had my gallbladder taken out this year, and I finally went in. There was this like male doctor, and he said last time he was here, he said they told you that you had gallstones. I said yeah. I said, but they said, you know, not to drink, not to have so much caffeine, and like something else. And he said no. He said, you won't be leaving here tonight. And I was like, what? I've already told this story in another video, but a little refresher here. I was like, what? So what do you mean? He said it's going to go one or two ways, depending on what your CAT scan, I think it's CAT scan, says. He said, you're either getting emergency surgery to take out that gallbladder, or we're going to send you off because you're going to need some more extensive, like something, like more surgery, like something. I don't know. He didn't explain it, didn't go into detail, because at the time he didn't know if that's what I needed or not. But he said something bigger, something more major, something we can't do here. We'll have to send you off. I was like, bro. So they go in, they're like, yeah, this is like one of the worst like cases of like gallstones we've ever seen. That needs to come out, blah, 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 blah. So, you know, they do me like they do anybody else getting their gallbladder out. But they kept hovering over me and stuff. And they kept telling me my heart rate's low, my heart rate's low, my heart rate drops every time I move. Like, they wouldn't even let me go take a shower by myself, like nothing. And then, but they didn't question me on it. They just, you know, done their job. And then I get there and like, well, into like the, what is it, like the waiting room for surgery? Prepping room, I guess. So I get in there, and the anesthesiologist was like this close to just turning me down. He did not want to do it. And I told him, I said, look, buddy, I'll be fine. Just do it. Just do it. Either way it goes, I'll be alright. Just do it. I had to like talk him into it. He was like blowing and puffing. He didn't want to do it. Because he looked right at me and he said, have you made an appointment with your cardiologist to get a pacemaker yet? And I said, what? What do you mean? I said, I don't even go to a cardiologist. I said, last time I went and complained to the doctor, they told me to puff on an inhaler. And he said, no. He said, he said, off the record, you're going to need a pacemaker. Right? So anyways, I get my gallbladder taken out. I'm good now, I guess, with that. Did my follow-ups with a regular doctor. Some little young chick, and, you know, she's like, oh, she's like, your heart rate's at like, I don't know, 50 something. She said, so it's a little low, but nothing too concerning. She said it was probably, you know, just where you were like stressed and in pain, and then, you know, you had the surgery and all that. And she said all that, a couple all together can, you know, cause your heart rate to lower and this and that. And she was gonna let me walk out of there just like that. Just like that. And I said, are you sure? I said, because I'd hate to have to keep coming back here. I said, you know, for the same thing over and over. I said, because I've come here multiple times. I said, they chased me around that ER. I said, they wouldn't let me take a shower by myself because they said I need a pacemaker. I said, are you sure? She said, well, I mean, I looked at your, you know, your charts and stuff. She said, so I can see your heart rate bouncing around. She's like, all right. She's like, we'll hook you up to the EKG machine. So I said, okay. By this point, she had me on and off that bed about 4 times. So she's like, hang tight. We'll get the chick with the EKG machine or whatever, and, you know, we'll see what it says. So it's like, okay. So finally that girl comes in with that, and I get back up on the bed. She does her thing. The doctor comes back in. She's like, oh, that's weird. I was like, what's weird, girl? She's like, your heart rate's at 37. I was like, see? I've been trying to tell you, you had me up and down off the bed about 4 times, and now I'm like at heart rate of 37. She's like, yeah. She's like, we should probably look into that. So we're going to, you know, send you to a specialist. We're going to check your thyroid, She said, because it can be a, you know, a number of things or whatever. But I didn't have no heart block, so whatever that is, I think that's a really bad thing, and I didn't have that, so yeah. So for anybody wondering, that's what's up. No, I don't have prescription medication. No, I don't drink alcohol. I'm just here. They want me to lay down. I don't want to lay down yet. Okay? So anyways, I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.